But they had the guy's laptop and they wanted to get into it, wanted to connect the dots. Judge wouldn't let them do it. You know, that actually, it's a great point. Why aren't some of these judges investigated and held to account for their secret decisions? Everybody else is out there getting mad at the president for what he's doing in secret, the NSA for doing what it's doing in secret. But how about these judges? As you said, that may very well have prevented us from thwarting the 9/11 hijackers if we would have gotten into Moussaoi's computer. All this talk about the great FISA court and how judges can do no wrong and need to be involved in the process. What's their record been when their input's been used to influence our national security?
Hey, have you heard of the case of Zacarias Moussaoui?
I have.
Yeah, well, that's a case where we didn't get to find out what was on his computer, and we found out he was the 20th hijacker. And we missed finding out what was going on beforehand. The FBI wanted to know what was on his computer, couldn't get a warrant to do it from the FISA court. They didn't like the way the procedures had been followed. Bammo. 9/11.
To his audience that it was one of those FISA court judges who wouldn't let the FBI examine the laptop of the so-called 21st hijacker, Zacarias Moussaoui, which perhaps might have allowed them to discover the 9/11 plot in December 2001. Of course, in fact, the FBI never even went to court in that case. They never even asked a judge to let it read Moussaoui's computer. The FBI's own lawyers decided the Bureau did not have the right to examine the computer. A later investigation suggested the FBI lawyers were wrong, and if they'd only gone to one of the FISA judges, the judge would have granted access to Moussaoui's computer. But, of course, that's not the kind of story Rush Limbaugh wants you to know, so he lied about it, told it backwards, which is why his listeners live in ignorance and why Rush Limbaugh is once again today's worst person in the world.
Lie.